Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, increases output. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, assures foreign investors of dynamic and transparent market. Market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange sheds 386 billion in a week as the Central Bank of Nigeria says no cause for alarm from interest rate hikes by the U.S. Business Express is coming to you from our Abuja studios with me, Musa Abubakar. Let's start with business development. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has been assuring investors that there is no cause for alarm following the United States Federal Reserve's recent hike of its benchmark short-term interest rate. The U.S. Fed increased the rate by a quarter percentage point and signaled 2 more increases this year. The Deputy Governor, Economic Policy Directorate, CBN, Dr. Joseph Inena, who gave the assurance, also stressed the importance of capital inflows into the Nigerian economy. He said the yield on Nigeria's treasury bills was still attractive irrespective of U.S. normalization, and with external reserve at about $49 billion, the CBN is in a comfortable position to meet all its obligations. Meanwhile, China has cut reserves by $100 billion to cushion U.S. tariffs. The Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board says it has created more than 30,000 direct jobs and increased Nigerian participation in the Nigerian oil and gas industry since its inception 8 years ago. Executive Secretary of the board, Simbi Wabote, disclosed this during a collaborative session with the Managing Director of the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority and other key stakeholders in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The report is here presented by Kule Adeye.
This session, which comprises of key players in the oil and gas free zone, is aimed at maximizing the nation's objective of the free zones. Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wabote, represented by the Director, Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Akintunde Adelano, said the engagement with the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority is timely given the critical projects being executed within the free zone. He said that the collaboration will bring both agencies closer towards achieving their respective mandates, thereby impacting on Nigerians and the nation's economy. The Executive Secretary stressed the need for the two agencies to discuss and fashion out a suitable framework for managing activities, especially expatriate deployment and procurement for use in Nigerian oil and gas projects.
The fact that we also need to have access to data with respect to what is available and what is not available. For now, we may not have them. So how do we now capture those skills? If you don't oversee this, we may not have the opportunity of those data. So that as a nation we can plan, we also get involved in capacity to training to bridge the gap between what is existing and what the industry requires.
Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority, Mr. Umana Okon Umana, represented by Sule Akwasi, emphasized the need for streamlining the laws which established the two organizations for smooth operations. He, however, pledged the authority's readiness to work with the board to improve ease of doing business within the zone.
For us, we feel that government is one. We are all working for the same government. So we are very open to establishing the necessary machinery that will actualize our dreams. But the issue is to put it in practice, putting what you have agreed in practice for the benefit of the country and the institutions we represent.
Other stakeholders offered suggestions on the way forward for the development of the sector.
Moving on, waste recycling is another alternative source of income that should be effectively made use of in Nigeria. In this report, Oyeyemi Ajayi tells us how waste can be effective in the society.
When talking about waste, the first thing that comes to mind is something totally useless, abandoned and can never be useful anymore. On a daily basis, Nigerians come across heaps of waste materials like papers, nylons, plastics, even tires. But it has never occurred to some people how these so-called waste materials can be utilized. A visit to Woodbridge Garden sent a lot of message about waste management. It could look just like every other garden, but the creativity behind the building is one that cannot be underestimated. The garden is to serve as an eatery, as well as an entertainment spot for the visitors. This garden could seem like a normal garden, much more typical like every other garden in the FCT. But what makes it quite different is the artistic ingenuity of the owner of the garden, Rufai. All furniture, especially the chairs and tables, are made of tires. These artistic works are spread all around the garden, right from the artificial flowers down to the bottle-designed bar, with the ceiling designed with crates of eggs. The walkway was designed with pebbles instead of tiles.
These are tires from the foundations. We have to go to, to get this, and even the building. What you do is, the first one we did, we had to demolish it because it was not stable. There was no stability. It was like shaking, and with that time we have spent almost about 7 or up to $1 million. So we have to demolish and start all over again. It's almost 1.5 years. Almost 1.5 years. But it's so many things. You do this and you change.
Another thing that caught my attention at the garden is the scrapped vehicle behind the bar. This vehicle is what you would say to be an abandoned vehicle. As you can see, the front tires are gone and so many things are not actually in place in this vehicle. Interestingly, what this vehicle is used for cannot be underestimated. It plays a very vital role in this garden. Guess what? It is used for barbecue.
With that thing, what do we do? Something that will benefit the society, that will benefit the environment, everything. Then we come up with the idea, let's do something based on using the concept of reuse of material and recycling of material that are normally we can pick from the waste bin or something like that. That we can show that this thing can be turned into real, something that can be useful, can be turned into something that we normally throw in the dustbin, can be useful, can be turned into something useful.
For the likes of Aziz Rufai, youths need to look inwards and bring out the creative ingenuity in them for development of the society. No doubt, there is wealth in every waste. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
On that note, we take a look at the commodity market as compiled by Muplang Dakok. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has assured foreign investors of the safety of their investments in the Nigerian capital market, disclosing this when representatives of JP Morgan and Stanbic IBTC visited the commission in Abuja at the weekend. Acting Director General of SEC, Mrs. Mary Uduk, said all necessary controls are in place to ensure that the market is dynamic, free, fair and transparent for participants. Oduk said the Commission has embarked on several initiatives in a bid to ensure that investors in the market derive the benefits therein. Nick Long, representative of JP Morgan, expressed satisfaction with the performance of the Nigerian capital market, adding that it is one of the reasons why it continues to attract international investors. After 2 weeks of gains, the bears returned to the Nigerian stock market in the week ended Friday, 22nd June 2018. Let's join Bosede Abel for a review of the market.
Last week, it was a 4-day trading session on the Nigerian stock market, which ended negative as the NSE reviewed its market structure, which is to take effect July 2nd, 2018. The NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization depreciated by 2.74% to close the week at 37,862.53 and 13.71 trillion naira. A total turnover of 1.09 billion shares worth 15.4 billion naira in 16,288 deals were traded by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry, measured by volume, led the activity chart with 816.54 million shares, valued at 9.42 billion naira. The consumer goods industry followed with 76.3 million shares, worth 2.99 billion naira. The third place was occupied by the oil and gas industry with a turnover of 51.6 million shares worth 594.5 million. Trading in the top 3 equities were United Bank for Africa PLC, Zenith International Bank PLC and FBN Holdings PLC, measured by volume, accounted for 325.5 million shares worth 4.8 billion naira in 3,381 deals. Also traded during the week were a total of 61 units of exchange-traded products (ETPs) valued at 899.80 naira, executed in 7 deals. A total of 370 units of federal government bonds valued at 371,261.96 were traded in 3 deals. Japo Oil and Maritime Services PLC, C&I Leasing PLC and NEM Insurance Company Nigeria PLC led the gainers chart, while Honeywell Flour Mill PLC, Lasaco Assurance PLC and Cement Company of Northern Nigeria PLC topped the losers table. 25 equities appreciated in price, 44 equities depreciated, while 100 equities remained unchanged.
Sayende Adenagbe of Standard Union Securities joins us now to talk about trends in the capital market. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
2 weeks of gains, not so impressive, and then the bears return. What exactly is happening to stocks at the Nigerian Stock Exchange?
You see, the market itself is just the gauge for the entire economy, the barometer. So it's a reflection of the global market and the economy in general. The ecosystem itself is comprised of all interwoven, mechanisms.
Okay.
For the market to go down, to come up just 2 weeks and then dip again is expected. But all I can just explain to you is that we are getting to the end of the first half. This week, you're still going to see a trend that will be a bit changing from what it was. What you saw in the past is just that in those weeks is just a reaction to price mechanism. At the same time, letting investors, a way of calling them, please come. The market is ripe. The prices are good enough for you to invest. If prices are always going up, it will be counterproductive.
Okay.
Therefore, it has to shed some weight. Some people have to take some, profit, so that others can come in. What you have seen in the past is just for people to take position.
Okay, ordinarily, signing of the budget should have this positive impact on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, but we've not actually seen that.
Yes. You see, the budget has just been signed, and disbursement can only take place after it has been signed. Now, before the disbursement, before it can go to critical sectors and all, it takes some time. Before you can see the movement, it will translate, the budget must have translated into gains in the hands and the purses of so many people. The capital market itself is not just there for being their sake. It is a reality. People must invest until disposable incomes increases. People will now come and patronize the market.
Okay, is there any possibility that the market will revert?
Yes. In fact, from today, you see that the market has started moving up. More so that the end of the first half is almost here. This week will be the end of the first half. And many companies, they want the prices to reflect a positive trend, so that for the purpose of their accounting and portfolio management, it must reflect a positive change. I expect that the market will grow this time around.
Okay, U.S. interest rates, OPEC, and the ongoing trade war between U.S. and China.
Yeah.
Is any of these factors affecting the stock exchange?
Definitely. You see, it's a global market. The interchange of ideas and trade, tariff, this and that between China, U.S., and even of late, you see that U.S. has really cut down the volume of import from us. All this thing has a direct correlation to price mechanism in the market. But that's not to say that the market is not a place to be, not at all. Because the entire market invites people when the prices are down. And when it is down, it can only come up. You understand? So in essence, the global market has a serious impact on every economy. And that is why sometimes foreigners come in, they go out.
Okay.
As we talk now, some of them that have gone out, they are planning to come back. Why? Because the prices are now very low for them to come and invest.
Okay, what's your projection for July and second half of the year?
Yeah, for July, companies whose half year is June ending, they'll be coming out with their corporate results. And when these corporate actions are coming out, it is a signal that, well, it is time to embrace the market. However, one thing very critical is the political sector. If the polity is safe, everybody wants to pour money there and invest. You want to put your money into where it is safe. However, my advice is that the politicians should not hit up the quality. They must play by the rule, and that once that one is done and security apparatus are all in good shape, I want to tell you that beyond July, the market will bounce back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sayinde Adinape with Standard Union Securities.
Thank you very much.
Global market update is next with Moplan Dakok.
In the week ended, markets in Africa posted gains. South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 increased by 1.20%. Kenya's Nairobi All Share Index appreciated 0.03%. The Tun Index of Tunisia also closed positive, advancing 0.80%. Ghana's JSE Composite Index gained 0.97% to close at 2,890.06, as Namibia Overall Index also went up 1.17%. It was a rough 2 weeks for global equities. Asia was the worst hit as it lost more than $1.6 trillion in value. Japan's Nikkei 225 lost 0.78%. Hang Seng Index of Hong Kong closed the week at plus 0.15%, while Shanghai Index advanced 0.44%. European stocks ended positive, while stocks in the U.S. were mixed. FTSE 100 increased 1.12%. DAX inched up 0.54%, and CAC 40 index gained 1.34%. United States Dow Jones appreciated by 0.49%. The S&P 500 by 0.19%, while the Nasdaq Composite Index went down 0.26%.
And a peek into the international currency market. Nigeria is set to partner foreign consultants comprising legal practitioners and other experts in Switzerland on a voluntary offshore assets repatriation. This is repatriation scheme. This is coming barely a week to the expiration of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme, VADE, which was extended to June 30th earlier this year by President Muhammadu Buhari. Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami disclosed this in Switzerland on the sidelines of a meeting at the Nigerian embassy. He said under the scheme, experts will collaborate with the Swiss government to target funds that have not been identified in ongoing investigations. And here is where we draw the curtain. I am Musa Abubakar.